Introducing Instagram teen accounts. A new way to keep your teen safer as they grow. Like making sure they always have their seatbelt on.
All right, sweetie pie, buckle up. Good job.
Or ring the bell on their bike.
Okay, kid, give it a try. Nice.
Or remember their elbow pads.
Knees too, okay? Yep. There you go.
New Instagram teen accounts. Automatic protections for who can contact your teen and the content they can see.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Welcome to News from the Crabby Coffee Shop with your host, Dawn McClain, from the adventures of Bradley and Dawn on My Talk 1071, Garage Logic's newsman, Mr. FYI, John Haidt, and the crabbiest guy in the coffee shop, Kenny Olson.
Well, that's true today, that's for sure. McClain.
Yeah?
What will Mrs. McClain, your mom, say when at the end of the month here in May, I knock on her door and say, hey, how you doing? I'm Kenny.
What?
Is she going to freak out?
When?
I'm going to Indianapolis via Missouri.
Oh, okay. Southwest Missouri?
We're going to the Lucas Motor Speedway thing for 2 days of races. And I thought, since I'm in dirty old Missouri.
Yeah, that's right down the road.
I have to at least drive by the McClain Ranch just to see where Dawn climbed the clothesline pole because she was chased by dogs. Where she fought with pigs and cows. And,
yeah, definitely.
And, I want to go by the S dump.
Yeah, sure.
And,
you know who will really welcome you with open arms is my sister Dana. With all of those, she'll put you to work. She has that hobby farm with all those little goats and everything. She's like, come and visit. It's people from Instagram. Like, she'll go, sure, come and visit.
I don't want to shovel S. Put me on a piece of machinery and I'll do whatever work needs to be done on the machinery.
Oh, well, her husband, as she calls him, the hay man, because he brings the hay. Hay man will love that. They're always like building fences and just,
I can, as much as I hate it, I can fence.
Wait, my mom would like you to do some work, though, on the property.
What do we need?
It's usually, she has like a little chainsaw that she like rips up trees. And she's, well, you know, she has a little chainsaw. I don't know. It's like a little one.
Yeah.
Not a big one, but like a hand. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, she's been told she can't use it anymore, but she still does. She has like trees that she likes to haul.
So I should bring my truck saw, is what you're saying.
Sure.
Because I usually take the truck saw out for road trips.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, she'll put you to work for sure. Because then the hay man usually has to come over and do it, and he doesn't want to.
Does she have any skunks that need? I can deal with intruders and trespassers in the form of skunks.
Yeah, you can go out in our woods and see what you find too. You know, my dad used to dump a bunch of stuff back there. You might find some treasures.
And I really want to go to, I think she calls it the Rat's Ass store.
Oh, the Rat's Ass Market. That's by the Amish community over there in Seymour, Missouri. Seymour
Butts.
Yeah, Seymour Butts.
Why am I laughing?
Well, yeah, it's like, it's great. And then there's a great restaurant. Some people from Chicago opened up a great restaurant. You can get a really good Italian beef sandwich. I mean, there's great things to do. Laura Ingalls Wilder, she sort of wrote her books down the road from that.
Oh, her daughter did. I mean, are we going to get into that controversy today?
Oh, wow. Okay. Or her daughter did it. Okay. I didn't know.
Try watching the documentary about her. You're going to be looking for a rope and a rafter. It is depressing. Yeah.
Okay.
This town where Dollywood and the Titanic, what's that town? You worked in this town?
Oh, Branson.
Is that on the way? Can I roll through Branson?
Yeah, it's all down in that area. I mean, that's about 30 minutes from, well, not 30. It's about 20 minutes from Arkansas down there. But it's all within 2 hours of each other.
Oh, I have people in Arkansas.
Okay.
We're going to be that close? Then they're going to want me to come down there.
Well,
maybe
it depends
I should
on
just
what
skip
part.
all this.
Yeah, maybe.
Should we do a show?
Yeah.
Three OGs. They did it. The three old guys made it to Fairbanks last week.
Right.
And there was a fun live Facebook feed. Somebody up there, they had a welcoming committee of locals in Fairbanks that met them, and it was very festive. And wouldn't you know, remember how early on, I think it was the day they left or a couple of days after they left, we tried to get a hold of them. We wanted to talk to one of the wives, right?
Yep.
And they stiffed us, and I was very bitter about it. And I was childish, I'll admit it. It was just me being immature and jealous. Well, this morning I received an email.
You did?
Actually, it came yesterday at 2:30, but I was gone already, from Margina Hallstrom, the wife of Rob Hallstrom.
Oh, great.
First, I must apologize to you for not getting back. The entire 40 days was a whirlwind. I'll spare you the backstory. If you'd like to interview Rob, he would like to talk to you. You can call him and text him at 612. Well, no,
let's not give him that.
Yeah.
But I found this interesting because of the volcano in Russia that canceled flights out of Fairbanks on April 15th. He did not get home until Monday night.
Wow.
And another thing about Rob is him and his wife, Margina, they lived in the Twin Cities for 35 years. He was the electrical superintendent and worked for Premier Electric in Brooklyn Park, a big company in the Twin Cities. And he did that for over 27 years. And then she says, if you're still interested in talking about a wife's perspective, I'd be happy to talk to you. But I'm sure you'd be far more interested in talking with Rob. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm going to leave it up to you guys.
I want to know what happened on the trip. I mean,
definitely Rob.
Yeah.
Should we have him?
Yes.
You want to do it, Ross?
I can do that. Just make sure I have that number. I think the wife's perspective would be fun for a few minutes, but the bulk of it needs to be about the trip.
All right, cool. And then the Bridget update. I received a text from her father. A video. There is a couple, a guy and a gal, that are doing the same thing that Bridget McCutcheon is doing, circumventing the globe, trying to set a world record. And they have a YouTube channel, and they're recording everything. And their name their name is Lavi and Ollie, Lavi and Ollie. And they're somewhere here. I don't know where the hell they are, but they ran into Bridget and
really,
what's her girlfriend's name?
Oh, shoot. I don't remember.
But they ran into him at some salt flats.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was pretty cool. And that's my really only update on Bridget. That's all I kind of know about her.
Did she run them off the road? I mean,
no, they were all, it was really weird. There was they were out in the middle of these salt flats, and there was a little public market set up. I know, really weird.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was this in Spain or?
I have no idea,
okay,
because I didn't really, I only watched a few minutes of it. So I have yet to watch it, but I thought that was pretty curious. And these two have the comms set up in their helmets. So while they're taping, they're also talking to each other and whatnot. It looks like it's semi-interesting.
Cool.
So that's our update on that. You want to talk about aliens?
Sure.
Sure, why not?
Absolutely.
Do you believe in them?
Absolutely. I mean,
do you believe in the proof that you've seen, the evidence that you've seen?
Yeah, especially all the video that's come out that the government's like, all right, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff we don't know. We've been forced to say it. Like, yeah, this just statistically, to me, impossible that we're the only intelligent life in the universe. Thank you, Carl Sagan.
I'm going to interject one time and shut up for the rest of the interview here with Dawn. This is your forte.
It's the grilling, the Dawn grilling.
Kenny, this whole interview or discussion,
I keep saying
interview, started off a lot like Chris Farley and Paul McCartney from SNL.
Hey, you guys.
Do you believe in aliens?
Do you remember when you were with the Beatles?
Yeah, that was cool.
Although I agree with you, Dawn, about the what you said about there's no way we can be alone. I absolutely 100% agree with that. Up until, I don't know, just a few days ago, I agreed with you about what you said about the government. And now I have decided that I don't believe anything the government says about anything.
That's just
And
overall
especially,
attitude. Yeah.
especially when it comes to aliens and UFOs. And I think them revealing what they have at this point is just part of for lack of a better term, a psyops operation. I think they're distracting us. I think they're getting us asking the wrong questions to cover up for something. I don't know what they're covering it up. And I have to admit, that opinion could change later this afternoon.
Okay.
I am so confused at this point. The people I trusted last week, I now this week think are frauds. I have now gotten into the physicists and what it would take to power these things and how they would move from galaxy to galaxy in such a fast manner. And I'm so, God
Darn it.
confused about virtually everything about this. And part of it is because instead of following these whack jobs we see on TV, I'm now following and listening to people like Eric Weinstein and Jeremy Riss and other scientists. And oh God, it's just so difficult to follow. When you're a dumb guy and the most technical thing you know about is rebuilding a Mikuni carburetor.
That's not, you can't be dumb whenever
Physics is really, really confusing to guys like me.
Well, generally, when I get as confused as you sound, Kenny, I just go, screw it. I'm not going to
picks up his guitar.
I tried yesterday, and usually you find relief in the shop, and I couldn't. So I did what any good redneck would do. I went for a 3-hour walk in the woods, and
nice.
that helped.
Wow,
yeah,
3.
That helped.
How far do you wander? Do you need to have a tracker on you?
I'm a fat ass. Okay. I'm a fat ass, and I breathe heavily, as you can tell by listening to the podcast I work on. So I walk really, really slow.
Okay.
In hopes that I'll see some sort of critters and whatnot. And plus, it was turkey hunting season, so I just happened to have a firearm with me. But I didn't see any turkeys, any deer. I didn't even see a squirrel, but I thoroughly enjoyed my 3 hours in the woods.
Okay.
I have a question, not to change the subject, but we had a turkey in our neck of the woods the other day. Now, can they fly short distances? Is that the way it allegedly works?
Yeah.
Because this guy got up and he flew way up into one of our trees and sat there. And then he flew down to another tree. And I looked at my kid and I said, huh. Well, God is my witness. I didn't think turkeys could fly.
Okay.
They spend the night in trees. It's called roosting, and they do that, to protect themselves from other critters.
Sure.
Was it a Tom or was it a Lucy?
How do you know?
The male is the Tom. It's got like a big beard that hangs down and bounces off its chest.
It was a Tom. Yes.
Oh, cool. He's horny right now, so he was flying up into the tree to look for a girlfriend.
I think he was frightened by the neighbors. The neighbors came out their back door, and all of a sudden he looked and he went, "Burp."
Holy crap, I'm in the middle of a city.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's weird.
Exactly.
All right, I'm not saying any more about aliens. I'm sick of being obsessed by it. But
you have been for about 2 months.
It's really getting bad.
Should I still continue to try and get Tom DeLonge on the podcast?
No.
Is he a fraud now?
I now believe that Tom DeLonge believes everything he said and has said, but I think he's being duped.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think he's being played. I think it's a case of where a good person with good intentions is being used by corrupt people. That's what I believe. But again, like I said, that could change by this afternoon.
Okay.
That's how confused I am.
I'll hold on to the email.
Can we all get together and pay for a skywriter above Kenny's property that says stop searching?
Yeah, no.
And then he'll be like,
I have no beliefs regarding contrails. I think contrails are what they are. And I don't think it's seeding us or trying to change our DNA or any of the other weird.
Oh, right. Dropping chemicals on us. Yeah, that's.
Until I met you, I was pretty skeptical about the whole paranormal thing. But you seem, for the most part, well, you're not normal. But for all the people I know in this business, you are kind of close to normal.
Okay.
You've got a good degree of weird going.
Sure.
But this paranormal thing, I think I really do believe you, Dawn.
Good.
And are you keeping busy doing that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the paranormal team I'm on, we're always, we have to trade off who's answering the emails and, responding to people. Every month we switch. We get a lot of messages, and a lot of them are like, hey, look at this video from my, game cam, or, hey, look at this picture we took. And honestly, I don't want to discourage anybody from contacting us, but we kind of always just have to say we don't know. It's interesting because we do have a photographer who used to be a part of our team that we contact, but there's no way anymore to definitively say through a picture or video if something is real. My thought is there are going to be people out there, good or bad, that want to say gotcha, and there's so many ways to Photoshop things and fake things. I don't believe anybody. You know what I mean? Like, you can't ever really say, yeah, that's a legitimate, because we don't know if people are just messing with us, and unfortunately that's the case. So it's kind of fruitless to contact us about like, hey, look at this picture, what do you think? Because we're going to go, cool, yeah, I mean, if it's a video and it's orbs, I'm using quotes there, air quotes, that is dust and bugs, 99.99% of the time. If you're seeing an orb in a picture or on your camera, those are little pieces of dust that are catching the light, flying up in the air, and it looks like something moving around. We literally, anytime we're reviewing video footage or pictures of our own that we took, we completely ignore all of those. That happens hundreds of times in videos, and we just go past it. We don't even look at it. So, but people will argue back and forth, and ain't nobody got time for that, okay? I'm tired of arguing with people going, yeah, but look, it changes directions. Yeah, so does a bug. Oh, no, our house is very clean. Guys, dust is like microscopic.
Yeah.
You can't see the dust flying around. It's like you can be as clean as possible, and you'll still pick up dust on a video.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's dust, it's bugs, it's dust.
You guys kind of remind me of, God, I'm sorry I'm making this reference, Project Blue Book, that was run by the government to prove or disprove alien life. So when you find something or you hear from somebody, that convinces you guys as a team that this is worth going out and investigating, do you have a preset notion or an idea? Is your plan to go out there to disprove it or to prove it? Do you believe either way when you approach a new place?
We always go in to debunk everything first. Every single thing is to debunk it because you want to rule out anything else first. I mean, that's just a scientific way of, approaching things, which is what we're not going to jump at any conclusions. We're going to try to find another reason why something could be happening. If you hear what you think are chains in the walls, then we're going to ask you, have you called a plumber? How old are your pipes? That could be a lot of things, So, and any electrical issues, the lights blink off and on. It's like, okay, are you having an electrical surge? Have you had an electrician out here? Those are kind of things that are going to be asked first.
Yeah.
So, and plus, if you have leaking electricity EMF, that can cause people to have hallucinations and make them feel paranoid and anxious. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. If you have old wiring and maybe
I should check that out.
Yeah. And so if you're going to see things, and it can make you sick and all kinds of stuff like that. So we always check how much EMF is in a room, and if it's right above your electrical box through the floor and it's spiking high consistently, then that's, you need to get somebody out there to
the only
check
thing
your
I
wires.
Would question you about is the scientific method, which I've learned here recently that it's not to necessarily disprove, it's to prove it true or prove it false. You know what I mean? Either or. And they should go in there without any preconceived notions ahead of time. But it sounds like that's exactly what you do. You check all the possibilities first.
Yeah, absolutely. We try to recreate things, like, okay, can we make this same sound over here? Oh, it's, your screen door is not latched all the way. It's just all kinds of things. Or like if hearing voices and like, oh, you're picking up, the neighbor outside who's sitting on his porch smoking, whatever. Like, there's just all kinds of ways that things can be happening, and we're going to be looking at things like that with the critical eye.
And I love that critical eye. That's very important. Well, something's on TV. I got to change this. I can't watch that show.
Okay, what is it?
Yeah, you could probably figure it out.
Okay.
So, but there have been many, many cases where you and your team has decided, yep, definitely paranormal going on here because we saw it. And when you go back and listen to the audio, you hear it, right? Correct?
I mean, yes, there are always going to be three, 2 or 3 people on our team who never say something's paranormal because we have super skeptics on our team who don't believe in anything. And that's good. We need that. And then we have people like the other end of the spectrum, which is me. But I also look at everything with a critical eye, and I also debunk things. So it's always going to be not paranormal before it is. That's just the way we run our group.
I would so love to be a part of the discussion after the sun has come up. You've spent the night. You've gathered what evidence you have. You've reviewed. Well, it wouldn't be the next day. It would be. Yeah. It would be later, much later, after you've reviewed everything. Then do you all get together and have that conversation? That's the conversation I want to listen in on. I mean, I would like to hear both sides.
Yeah, we send each other sound clips, and it's really through email because it's hard enough to get together for any reason. So we're looking at video clips. People review our team within our team. We look at clips, we find interesting things, we edit it and send it to each other and go, what do you think about this? Some things are like, wow, I can't imagine it being anything else other than that. But yeah, there's going to be the people that go, interesting, every single time. I mean, they could say their name, a spirit can say, Neil, and Neil's always going to believe that it's not paranormal. So, that's fine. We need people like that, but it's fun.
Who do I have to write a check to get you to update your YouTube channel?
Me?
Yeah.
Personally?
I write it to you?
Oh, yeah. I'm the one who... Yeah,
how much? I need a new video on your YouTube channel.
Okay, yeah. Well, then you need to pay for me to go on another trip to go somewhere haunted.
Where do you want to go?
We're probably going to go to Edinburgh Manor next, which is in Iowa. And, it's not too far away. It's like 5 hours.
They've had some reports?
Oh, it's I can send you guys a picture that somebody from our team took that's so freaky. That's like, oh my gosh, that is a guy standing in the corner. It's weird.
I really want
and just tons of things over the years. It's a really haunted place.
Do you have a website?
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than just your YouTube channel?
Well, I mean, our team, I've got my own efforts that are just like, hey, this is me.
Yeah.
Outside of the team, that's what you're looking at with the YouTube channel.
But what's your website?
Well, you just look up Twin Cities Paranormal Society, which is tcpsmn.org.
I will link it in this podcast for people to find that way at garagelogic.com.
Yeah, I need something to distract myself from these stupid aliens.
If you go to our website and you want to email us, please don't send me any orb videos. Don't send us anything about orbs and trying to tell us, yeah, but our orbs are real. I'm telling you right now, this is not the way the team would like to deal with it, but as an individual, I'm saying don't do it. They would be like, sure, let us look at it because they want to be friendly and nice. I'm just going to be cut to the chase here. No orbs. Don't.
Can I speak for you for a second?
Yeah.
Just don't send shit to Dawn. Leave her alone. I mean, you're either bitching about whatever you hear or say on the radio, or you're bitching that you don't believe in ghosts, or you think a speck of dust is Casper the dog. Just leave her alone, okay?
Casper? Yeah. Did you almost say Casper the dog, by the way, instead of Casper the ghost?
Is that too much, Dawn?
No, it's not too much. It's just we're never going to be able to tell you, oh, that definitely is. It's just not. We're here to help people.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted by your website now. It's a great website. And there you are, all 6 of you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Neil looks like a disbeliever.
I can't wait to tell him.
I think I like Neil the best.
Yeah, Neil is like the biggest skeptic on our team. Yeah, it's great. He's great.
Neil.
Yeah, he's awesome. And he's been on the team a long time,
How does Neil get hooked up with the team if he's a skeptic? Did you go?
That's a good question.
You know what? I don't remember why he started with the team's been around for a long time.
Did you seek out a skeptic because you wanted to balance things out?
Well, the team started with like 100 people. It was just sort of like a social club. So it was like such a huge team, like back in, was it 2006? Yeah, I think so. So it's been around for a long time, and it was whenever these ghost hunting teams, these shows started, things were going on. We had the team before that, but that's when the interest really picked up when like Ghost Hunters started the show. And so everybody was like, whoa, we want to do this too. So, and that was that was on the Sci-Fi Channel at the time, and then it moved to Travel Channel.
Yeah.
But anyway, people join for all different kinds of reasons, and I don't think he's been with them from the beginning, but we have a couple of team members that have been with the team.
Speaking of TV, should I waste my time with this Jack Osborne thing, or is this just Hollywood?
Please don't, yeah.
Okay, It seems like crap to me, and I haven't bothered. I know kind of a bit of the backstory and who should have been doing that show and who ended up doing it, and it just makes me mad, so I've avoided it out of loyalty, I guess.
I can tell you what to watch, though, because a former team member who just had to basically leave the team because he's so busy doing a TV show, he has a show, his name is Blaine, and he has a show on MGM Plus that's coming out this Sunday. And it is about the Amityville house.
Oh.
And it's on MGM Plus, which is sort of a new streaming network from MGM. But it is, he's gotten a chance to go into that house. Now it's different or, changed and they can't. But anyway, you can find it on MGM Plus. And his name is Blaine and he's local here. And we're so excited for him because he basically got a big break. He got his big break.
That house is effed.
It is effed, and I think you're really going to like this show. It's like a lot of new stuff you haven't heard before. So
let me ask you something.
Super interesting.
If you've got a house that is effed, and it's been proven beyond the shadow of a doubt for the most part, tearing it down, burning it down, burying it, hauling it away, will that help?
I mean. Spirits are going to go where they want to go. It's not like, now the spirits are gone.
See, is it like when a farmer tears his granary down and then all the mice that were living in the granary then migrate to your house?
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Damn.
Yes. I mean, you've got people, we've kind of discovered things where it's like, this person had a car accident outside of their house. They don't know where to go. And so they just wander into whatever house is there.
Well, that's no good.
Yeah, it's like they don't even live. They didn't even live there. They just don't know how to get back home, or they don't know where they are.
Okay.
So yeah,
a dumb question, but I think valid question. Why do ghosts and spirits always head into homes or places as if they need shelter? Can't they just hang out?
Sure. Yeah.
Outside or in the woods?
Sure. They do.
Are there, and we just don't hear about them because people aren't living there?
I can answer that. Go to any one of the Civil War battlefields and just be ready to freak the F out.
Gettysburg is like you will see soldiers walking across the road, like groups of ghosts.
And in between Washington, D.C. and Richmond, there's a battlefield or two that we stopped at, and we were the only ones there. And it was like, get us the hell, let's go.
You can feel it, yeah. You can hear it, you can feel it, yeah.
Yeah. How come I don't feel that in cemeteries? Because those ghosts have all successfully gone to wherever the hell they go?
Well, it's really like, would you want to hang out at your grave? I mean, no one's there. You're just kind of hanging out you know what I mean? Yeah. You're going to move on or you're going to go back to your house.
Well, who are we talking to when we go to the grave of a loved one and we have a conversation with them? Are we just talking to ourselves?
I mean... They can show up if you're calling upon them, I'm sure. I mean, I've gotten voice recordings and EVPs from graveyards.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. I mean, it's the easiest. If you want to start doing this thing, Get a voice recorder and go to a cemetery, and you can pick up some stuff for sure. It's just there's so much noise if it's not a remote one. Like there's a lot of contamination from cars and planes, and you're outside.
Yeah.
So, but no, I've got some stuff from there. I'm not saying you can't. It's just not a likely place. And you can find the gravestones will say names on them, and people will, say I'm Mary or whatever. Yeah, I mean it's not totally unusual, but it's also not.
I never freak out in cemeteries for some reason. I have a very peaceful, calming feeling when I'm in cemeteries.
Yep, same.
I can tell you about a house we're going to this weekend that has had a lot of activity. Do you want to know the details? You want to take a break or?
Can we maybe do that after John sings us to a break?
John, are you going to sing us back home here?
John doesn't like doing this. You made him do it last week, and he doesn't want to.
Yeah, we don't care.
Or maybe he's pretending not to want to. Yeah.
I just never know what to sing, but let's do the old classic, okay?
Yeah.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and get ourselves some tweets.
You know our minds go. Never want to be afraid to let the dice roll. I like my chances even when my eyes closed. Odds against me when I dive. 777s every time.
Dylan Height on the instrumentation there, John?
Yeah, he played all the music there, and Dylan Reese on the vocal.
What's Dylan, your son? What is his Twitter account?
He just changed his name again.
I think it's the handle itself, though, is different from the name. And I think if you search hiding, speaking of cemeteries, hiding in headstones.
Yes, if you search that, it will take you to the new one.
Yeah.
And I loved Hiding in Headstones because he had a great logo for it, but for some reason he decided to change it. We may have some exciting Dylan Height music news, Kenny, which I will share with you off camera, off microphone.
Oh, thank God.
Because it's not finalized, but I will...
The reason I wanted to promote Dylan's Twitter account is because from time to time, and he just did it, I think twice in the last, 7 days, where he's soloing over the top of a bed he's laid down, or he plays something he's finally completed. And it's just amazing. The kid has serious chops.
He does. I will not argue.
And both Such and I have been demanding that, we just want the best for this kid because we see the potential. He's just so good.
Yeah.
And so
good things are happening right now.
Yeah, good, because we're hoping for big things for Dylan. We're hoping the world finds out about him soon. If I wasn't busy this weekend, Dawn, I'd go with you. And I don't care if I'm invited or not. I just show up.
Oh, you can come on.
What are you doing?
We're going to be in southeast Minnesota at a house that this couple, they've owned it for over 30 years. It was built in about 1940. It started out about 1,000 square feet, and then they added an additions to it.
Sure.
That doubled it really just on each side throughout the years. So going back 30 years, they have kids too. So
1990s.
Yep.
Yeah.
So a few weeks after they moved in, the lady of the house, she was reading her small children a book, and in the book, it had a whistle in it. So she whistled, and then very loudly in her face, something whistled back. And all the kids heard it, and they said, what was that, Mom? And she said, it was just birds. But it was like, freaked her out because it was like somebody right in her face, but she just didn't see anything. Then in the bathroom, both her and her husband have heard what sounds like chains in the walls. We'll be looking into that to see if,
it's not pipes, right?
Yeah, yeah. There is a bedroom in the basement where the lamp and radio will turn on and off at different times. That's happened over the years. Their son used to be down in that bedroom. They actually have like a carriage house thing above their garage, and they hear kids running and laughing up and down the hall. up there, little kids. Let's get to the apparitions part because this is super unusual.
How can there be more?
Oh, no. Get ready for this because to see I've never seen a full-bodied apparition. Think about how many places I've been and 15 years of doing this.
Yeah.
It's not something that happens commonly. So 5 people in the house have seen full-bodied apparitions. So it's not just one person. Their daughter-in-law saw a man with a cowboy hat with a bullet hole in his head at the end of her bed. Her grown son saw a guy with a top hat playing the piano at the end of his bed.
What?
Yes. Her husband saw a woman in blue in a blue mist floating above her in bed. So he's in bed with her and he sees a woman in blue floating above his wife. She herself, the wife, she's seen a pilgrim girl with strawberry blonde hair standing in the doorway. She can describe her dress and everything because it's looks like a solid person.
A lot of these apparitions sound like things or people that would have been around before the home was built in the 40s.
Oh, yeah. And that's the kind of thing my mother has seen in the house, like people in maybe homes, people that were going west, and maybe they just didn't make it, or they lived there at some time. Homestead.
Your mom sees that?
My mom has seen full-bodied apparitions in her house.
Wow.
Yeah.
How does your mom and I guess particularly this family? What's keeping them there?
Well, that's
how do you not just get the hell out?
I don't know what it's like to actually see something and not be afraid of it, because to me, it's the anticipation of seeing something all these years. I'm like, wow, I have seen something peek sort of just out of the corner of my eye, peek around the corner at our house and then run down the hall, looking at us. And that freaked me out. That just happened this year. That's the first time I've seen something. But it hasn't been a solid. I'm talking about they're seeing people that look solid. Not wispy.
That whistle thing would have drove me out right away.
Oh, yeah,
I would have gone.
Yeah, that's weird. So now we're going to get to the voices. So the voices, they had an exchange student from another country. The girl heard somebody loudly say the country she was from when she was alone in the house. Spain. Just Spain. Yeah, I am Spanish, but yeah.
I'd be out in the car. Seriously.
Okay, here's another freaky one. They got a phone call. It was kids, so going back to the kids.
Yeah.
They got this phone call. It was kids laughing. This is before, there was a lot of, caller ID. And so they called the operator. Well, they did have caller ID. It was, when it first came out. And they gave the number on the caller ID. And they said, where's this from? It doesn't, when we try to call it, it doesn't go anywhere. And the operator said that number and even the prefix don't exist.
Don't exist. It's
that happened twice.
555-1212.
Yeah, so that happened.
The Hollywood phone number.
Mm-hmm, that happened twice.
Jeez.
And then just a couple of weeks ago, they said it sounded like loud running in the living room, and somebody slammed against their Four Seasons porch window, and it sounded like something big dropped. Now, they also say that none of these spirits feel threatening. And
okay.
They don't feel afraid of this. And that, we're so excited because you feel nervous. I do whenever people are we're terrified. We feel like something's trying to hurt us and we need you to get this out. Because we don't have any guarantees that we can do that. We try to help people and, we do house clearings and things like that. But I'm not going to pretend that I'm magic. I'm not a wizard. I don't know. There are people that say that they can definitely see spirits and do this. I feel like I make sometimes a connection with things and ask them to leave, but they don't have to leave. You know what I mean? So that's kind of a lot of this last year has been people that are in such distress that they're going to move, and it's oh God, we want to help them, but we'll do our best. But so these people aren't afraid of this. They're we just want to know what's going on. So we researched the house, and we have somebody who is was library science. That was her major, so she's a librarian, and so she does all of our research.
Do you think that the ghost apparition spirits, can they get a read on you as an individual? And I ask that because are they making themselves seen to people who don't necessarily want to see them and not making themselves seen to people like you who would like to see one? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
I think
this would just be your opinion, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some people have gifts that they can see, like my mom. They can see things. And then there are spirits that don't know how to control what they do. And I don't know if that they have it all nailed down. I think the most interesting voice recordings that we get, from my perspective, is when I hear two of them talking to each other. And they're like arguing about appearing, or like, don't go in there, or like, here they come. Oh. Like, we've got a voice recorder that we'll keep in a room just running, and they're talking, and then it's like you hear us coming into the room on the recording, and you hear somebody go, don't you dare, or here they come, hide. So they're doing stuff, and then they're like, uh-oh, here they come. They recognize, and that's like an intelligent conversation between two different spirits. I mean, when you think about it, there are people that died just yesterday that could be hanging around. Not all spirits are from 1850. Right. You know, you've got people that just died last year, and so are they all living in the same space? Can they see each other? Can they talk to each other? That's like second-level stuff that I like to get into. And there are spirits, when you walk in the room, they are going to call out your name. And you don't know why they know your name already. We always start our recording sessions with introducing ourselves, like, I am Dawn, you know, and then we go through the whole gamut, and they say, hey, thank you for letting us, we're always very kind, and like, we're not trying to make you leave right just yet. Or we ask questions, but we introduce ourselves. But the freaky ones are like, you're setting up cameras, and we always start rolling before we're officially sitting down. Right. So we record all the setup too. And there are times where it's like, you'll hear your name called out.
Oh. So like if Candy and I went with you, we might hear, hey, Bleephead, what are you doing here? That kind of thing.
Or look at this guy.
It'd be Souchere weed here.
They'll talk about you, you know?
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And then sometimes, you know, it's like,
look at this jughead.
Yeah, people will get, I mean, there's ones that get kind of fresh.
Oh.
You know? They're like, they get kind of attached, or they
well,
let
I'm looking
you know.
at the three females on your team, and it's like, you know, how you doing, Heather?
Maybe. Sorry, baby.
How you doing?
Maybe.
How you doing, Heather? Is that what you just said?
I said, how you doing, Heather?
Yeah.
Maybe since I'm done with women on this life, or this form of life, maybe I'll try ghost women next.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
good.
you get the same amount of satisfaction, Ross.
Modest satisfaction.
So when Neil walks into this place this weekend, is he hoping to see something, or is he hoping to be proven correct that he won't see anything?
Probably.
I'd like to know the attitude, the mindset of each of you individually beforehand, before you even enter, and see if that plays a factor in it.
That's a good question. Yeah, I think that would, in my opinion. But, you know, if you're open to it, I think, you know, you can close yourself off and say, I don't want to see anything, or just like, I think remaining neutral is the best thing to do. You know, you're open to seeing things, but you're not like, pick me. I'm kind of more like that.
I'd like to make it known right here, in here, I don't want to see you, okay? Leave me alone.
Yeah. I mean, in my own home, I say that.
Here's my story. When I took over this home last December, I turned on the outside light so I could see it from my other house. I could see the back door. That same light was on 24 hours a day through, I'm going to say, February. Since February, I've gone through 6 outside lights. They burn for a week or 2, or sometimes 3. Boom, they go out. Put another one in, couple weeks, goes out.
Yeah. We want you to check the wiring on that.
Yeah, I've got a buddy who's an electrician. I'll have him check it. But, you know the conclusion I immediately jumped to, because you know the backstory in this house.
Yeah. That's...
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, some people just want to, if they've moved, if they have passed, they want to let you know that they're still around. I think they can come back and forth. Some of them are just stuck, but I think that some spirits can, wherever it is that they go, come back and make visits.
At first, when I started using it as a studio, I was uncomfortable in here.
Yeah.
But now I'm very, very comfortable, and I don't give it. As a matter of fact, I take a nap on the couch.
Yeah.
And it's just fine.
Yeah, good. You should. It's your space. You don't let something
I
like
don't
that
want to
chase you
say
out.
anything. I please don't show yourself to me, any of you.
Yeah.
Ever.
Leave Kenny alone.
Leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? And that goes for the living, too. Just leave me the hell alone. Don't even turn down my driveway. Just leave me the hell alone.
Got it.
John, any parting words?
I got nothing. Should I?
No, unless you want to make something up.
I thought maybe it was a commercial or something. I was supposed to say. I will tell you, you'll like this, Kenny, because you said that. It reminded me this morning. One of my favorite things is to read Pearls Before Swine on the comics in the paper. And there's a little crabby rat that's one of the main characters, and he was leaving the house, and he put on some spray, and the guy, or the pig, these are animals, said, "Oh, what do you got, mosquito repellent?" And in the last panel, he says, "No, people repellent," and walked out.
Perfect.
That's you. That's you right there.
Yeah.
The only reason I watched Sesame Street was for Oscar. Seriously. He was so awesome.
I'm shocked.
Just hated all of you some bitches.
Yeah, that was great. Me too.
They should have allowed him to swear. It would have been so much better.
Oh,
Loved him too. I wanted to go inside that trash can.
Yeah, because I always envisioned a home just like my grandma's, where you drop right into the kitchen and you can see the TV in the living room, and there was cookies.
What we really need as a money-making venture is we should launch a TV station, and maybe we can do this now more freely with streaming, where you can just have, unfiltered, kind of like the town council, where it's just all swearing all the time. And what I mean by that, years ago, my brother said something to me that was insanely funny, and it stuck with me. Imagine if you were watching TV, and the example he used was the Orchid Man. The Orchid Man, the commercial starts, and he's like, "As an Orchid Man, I get asked a lot of questions." Well, what if you could edit that, and it starts off with, "As an Orchid Man, I get asked a lot of dumb effing questions." You would stick with the commercial a lot longer, and you'd probably enjoy it a bit more.
Yeah.
I've never agreed with that statement. There are no dumb questions. I think there's just nothing but dumb questions.
Yeah, like, isn't this an orb in this photo?
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's dust.
That's a dumb question. Well, we're going to need an update next week. You can fire the music, Ross. But even if you haven't reviewed the audio, we definitely want to hear about this next week.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to News from the Crabby Coffee Shop. New episodes drop every week wherever you get your podcasts.